Hello, this is Magic Click Partners. In this video, I'm going to tell you how the Facebook auction operates in 2026. This is especially important to know given the latest Andromeda updates, which significantly changed the auction and its operation. Now we're playing by different rules and under the guidance of neural networks. And a small disclaimer right away, all this information about the auction, it's useful to know, but no matter how you look at it, it's difficult to control. Always rely on the data from your accounts and ideally don't rely only on the auction, but learn to analyze data, conduct A/B tests, and generally work with advertising. So, the auction itself is now fully automated and managed by an AI system that determines which ad to show the user. In less developed networks, the auction operates on the principle of we show those who pay more, but not here. On Facebook, there is a concept called total value. This is the parameter by which your priority in the auction is determined. This value is calculated according to a specific formula, your bid multiplied by the probability of a user's action, and then adding the quality of your advertisement. Your bid represents the budget you have set, indicating how much you are prepared to pay for a successful outcome.
So, here, the probability of user actions. It's clear what that is.
It's also calculated by its own formula, taking into account user behavior, your ad's performance metrics, and the overall quality of the advertisement. So this already considers all the criteria of your advertisement. The creative, its description, pre-landers, landing pages, domains, the ad's performance indicators, and any complaints received about it. For example, so AI analyzes your creative's quality before ads run. Now let's detail each. We'll start with the bid. Your bid by that bid is placed, and Facebook always considers your budget, but ultimately the auction still converts everything internally into a cost per impression. So it works like this. If you have a lowest cost strategy, meaning you've set a budget but haven't given a price per result, then Facebook itself searches for the winning bid for the result. For example, it sets a CPM of $15 per 1,000 impressions and first goes through the cheapest auctions. With a bid cap strategy, the situation is quite different. For instance, you set $10 per lead and the AI figures that to get one registration, it needs to show it to 1,000 users, which means the CPM will also be around $10. But there's also a concept known as second price, which is a second price auction. This means that even if your bid in the auction was $10, you won't necessarily have to pay that exact amount. You pay exactly the sum that is required to outbid your closest competitor. Well, give or take 1 cent. For example, your bid is $10, the competitor's bid is $4. You win, but in reality, you pay $4.01 for the advertisement. Next, the probability of the outcome. Here we have a less obvious factor. It's based on the user's personal history. Let's take gambling as an example. The system checks if Vasya clicked on a casino yesterday. If so, then 100 points are added. If never, then 100 are subtracted. It also looks at your pixel's history. If you've warmed it up, the auction already knows what audience is needed and the probability increases. But if the pixel is new, it's harder for it. Also, the user's path from creative to result is taken into account. That is, if they clicked your ad, landed on a page that didn't match your product, then left, Facebook learned from this and your probability dropped. This parameter is calculated in real time. So, for example, if Vasya just clicked on a football post and you're advertising bets, your probability increases. And the final component of the total value formula is the ad's quality. It's considered a bonus or a penalty. AI analyzes the creative for its quality, it checks if it's full HD, if there are filters, blurs, if text covers anything, and also looks for spam words. So, in the gambling industry, these words are earnings, konapais bonus, ubonata casino, money, and so forth. They also examine the layout of the FP, checking for specific words, looking at the domain's rating, and reviewing the description. If AI detects any such things, it flags your creative as low quality and you receive a penalty. And it also considers user engagement. This means if your advertisement has engaged users, then it will only work to your advantage. Things like likes, comments, shares, and other similar actions. It also takes into account how many conversions you are getting. This means if you are outperforming your competitors in terms of conversions, then your scores will be positive. Besides this, there are a couple more subtle criteria to consider. This is retention, meaning what the user does after the click. For example, he went to your site, there's a long load, he immediately returned to FB. FB considers this a bad experience and penalizes you. Similarly, SEO works, meaning if your site loads slowly, you'll get high bounce rates. So, load speed, the quality of your app and landing page, these are also part of the auction. And another factor few consider is your account's trust score, how warmed up your account is and how much Facebook trusts it. This means auto-registered accounts have minimal trust, while agency accounts will have a much higher level. Consequently, you will also win the auction at a lower cost when using agency accounts. For instance, Facebook observes that advertising is constantly being run from a particular account, treating you as a regular client. Therefore, you will win the auction at a lower price compared to using auto-registered accounts. Well, that's essentially how the auction operates. However, it's also crucial to understand that with gray niches such as gambling, the auction rules won't function exactly as they should. They are going to change because you're infringing on the platform's guidelines and your cost per acquisition here is disproportionately high when compared with other market segments. There you have it. In the gambling sector, quite often, for instance, you'll automatically receive the low-quality EDS label.
The quality of your ads will drop even if your creative is perfect. Facebook will still detect these casino-style elements or penalize you in the auction, so it will become increasingly difficult to win.
It's also important to consider that for advertising in gray niches, people very often complain and reports come in, right? This will also negatively affect the auction. So, to sum things up, all this intricate auction mathematics comes down to just a few straightforward rules. To consistently win it, your advertisement must possess a high total value. This means you should be allocating sufficient funds, your creative content needs to genuinely capture attention, the technical components must function perfectly, without any interruptions, and your product should effectively address the user's specific needs. Ideally, that is, of course. So, if you come to the platform with quality advertising and high conversion, the algorithm will start to work in your favor, granting you the best spots in the auction. I'll repeat once more, tracking all of this is quite challenging, so you must rely on the metrics available in your ad account. If they are poor, turn off the ads, try changing creatives, and test different approaches, searching for the very best and most profitable one. This is the essence of Facebook and ADS, and if you want or are already working with gambling traffic, I invite you to register with our affiliate network, Magic Click Partners. Here you'll find over 1,500 offers in gambling and betting verticals. Register and a manager will contact you. Also subscribe to our Telegram channel. There's even more useful information there. All links will be in the description.
Bye.